Ghosts in Us contains serious and sometimes disturbing events and is not suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
It had the crying boy painting.
Her imaginary friend as a kid was a demon.
I looked that thing in its eyes and it changed me forever.
I absolutely believe it was like a demonic presence.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Ghosts in Us podcast. Don't mind me. I'm sweaty. It's hot. There's no air circulation in here. I have a little paper towel just to dab a little sweat here and there, just to take the shine off. But Taylor, you're the one with the topic today. What do we have?
Have you ever heard of the Bothell haunting in Washington? So I
don't remember.
I want to kind of like put us through or like bring us through a modern day poltergeist case that has baffled investigators and skeptics. It is called the Bothell Hell House, and it takes place between 2012 and 2016.
Okay.
And like, you don't usually hear a lot of like poltergeist and like crazy, scary, demonic stories in modern day. Not as much.
No, yeah, within the last decade, that's pretty, yeah.
So in 2012, Keith Linder and his girlfriend Tina moved into a seemingly ordinary home. I'm so sorry, everything's moving in Bothell, Washington. Built in 2005, the house was relatively new, making what followed all the more perplexing. So after settling in, the couple began experiencing strange occurrences. It started subtle, unexplained noises, objects moving on their own, but quickly escalated to some crazy stuff like fire, wall markings, and like even police could not explain what was going on. So Keith reported instances such as Bibles burning spontaneously. So multiple Bibles were found partially or fully burned, often without any source of ignition. In some cases,
what case you're talking about now.
The damage was limited only to the Bible, while surrounding objects remained untouched. There was also a poster that caught on fire that was on the wall, and it just bursted in the flames while Keith was in another room, and the fire department could not find the cause. And there would be piles of ashes, but no signs of what had been burned around the house.
Yeah. And like, there are, I don't want to jump the gun, so I'm going to let you just keep going.
Another occurrence was wall markings and symbolism. The house often became covered in mysterious writing and symbols, pictograms and runes on the walls, ceilings, and on objects. And it would appear to be ancient or unknown symbols. Some resembled tribal art or hieroglyphs. 666 and God would be scratched or burned into walls, furniture, appliances. Die KL and leave messages, which were personal attacks directed at Keith, suggesting that the spirit was intelligent and was targeting him.
Yeah, I do remember this case because this case is such a hot button topic of like, did it happen or didn't it happen?
Mm-hmm. Another thing that would happen is poltergeist activity. And this was perhaps the most documented and consistent type of activity that happened in the home. Furniture would move or levitate, such as chairs, tables, and even large bookshelves. Once a heavy office desk shifted several feet with no one near it, objects would be thrown, coins, batteries, kitchen utensils, and knives. Narrowly missing Keith or his girlfriend or visitors. Objects would disappear and reappear in odd places, like inside the refrigerator or tucked into the couch. There was also electronic disturbances, like computer files being erased, TV and lights turning on and off, unexplained cold spots, which I that like yeah. Uh there would also be voices and apparitions, whispering and growling, which could be heard on EVPs. And there is a group that caught many EVPs here. Disembodied children coughing, the gray lady, a reoccurring female apparition in a gray dress seen walking through the hallway and vanishing through a wall, and shadow figures that would dart between doorways. There was some physical harm, so it wasn't just like, "Ooh, look at this, that's scary."
When was the physical harm documented?
I don't know at this point.
Because everything I heard about it, it wasn't like harming them, but it was like throwing shit. It was breaking glasses. It was pinning pants on walls.
So Keith and Tina would wake up sometimes with unexplained welts or scratches on their back, sudden dizziness and nausea, which I guess that is a physical thing. Being pushed or touched, especially when praying or talking about religion. Desperate for answers, Keith reached out to paranormal investigators. This aspect adds credibility or controversy to the case. So the UK paranormal team, Don Phillips and Steve Mera, they collected hundreds of EVPs and they witnessed unexplained movement and electrical phenomena. They claimed the house had an intelligent haunting and concluded that the house contains a non-human entity or multiple. They claimed that there's at least 3 spirits, possibly more, and they published a report and released evidence to support their conclusions. And this was also featured on Ghost Adventures, and they went in very skeptical. They captured no significant evidence, and some critics say their visit was too short and dismissive, and they conduct a walkthrough and leave skeptical. No, Zach implies Keith might be interpreting natural phenomena, but I don't know how you could say it's natural if things are starting on fire or lifting up and moving. I don't understand that.
So, okay, so let's think about this, and let's try and give Zach some credence here. Like, we literally just got done, like at the time of recording, because we're recording this back to back. We literally just got done talking with Jeff Conkle, who is their current gear and equipment tech. He says they spend roughly a week.
15 hours?
15 hours investigating, but they're there for about a week, 3 days to a week doing stuff.
Well, when this is someone's home, is that the same procedure when it's someone's house?
I mean, I'm going to even look at it from how ghost hunters, when they came back, like Jason Hawes, and when they came back to do the show like a couple of years ago, they would spend 3 days at a spot, and that was like 3 days worth of evidence that they're sifting through that you're seeing in a 40-minute episode or however long it is. So like, it was Zach being dismissive. We don't know. Taylor and I, obviously, we weren't there. If it came across to them that it was dismissive, they're perfectly obviously entitled to how they feel. But Dave Schrader's also a pretty credible investigator, and he was there with them. Like he's the one who brought the case to them. So I don't know. Hesitant.
Yeah. Because of what Zach said and how they didn't really experience anything, it angered Keith and led to a split between him and many mainstream investigators. He didn't want people to just come into his home and say he's a liar or say that this isn't what's happening.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Look how many places we've gone to, and it's just dead, pun intended.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're not gonna you can't make them tap dance. You can't force a ghost to provide you evidence.
Mhm.
So like there are gonna be nights when nothing happens. Maybe they had a
There,
bad night.
there has been many people trying to explain and like theories about what's going on. Um, there's the theory of it's an intelligent haunting, possibly multiple entities targeting Keith, or a demonic presence due to the religious desecration and violent nature of the attacks. Um, Poltergeist energy, possibly generated by emotional stress, which if you are having all this happen, you are stressed. You are feeding it. You are giving it more energy.
Oh, for sure.
Um, there's residual energy, though this might be like less likely because the house was only about 10 years old at the time.
How old's the
Uh,
land? If it's Native American based, you know,
in Washington,
yeah.
yeah. Um, okay, sorry. The audio pareidolia. Some skeptics argue that the perceived words in EVPs might result from audio pareidolia, which we've talked about, where the brain interprets random sounds as familiar patterns or words. And I think many investigators, including us, could be guilty of that.
I
You
think
you
everybody's
are
guilty of it.
really
Like
fishing.
there's some where we're fishing for sure, but there are also some where it's crystal freaking clear, man.
Oh yeah. Just like our most recent investigation with Broadhead. There's
Yeah,
that.
and I agree. Yeah, the
Glenn
episode isn't out
Beulah.
at this point in time, but yeah, Glenn Beulah, you clearly hear the R and run. It says your name.
Very clear. Yeah. Um, Another thing about like equipment limitations, the use of devices like ghost boxes, which scan radio frequencies, can introduce random words or phrases leading to potential misinterpretations, which we could also agree that a lot of people have like the pareidolia thing with that as well. You're fishing and hoping you can make out a word through a
Yeah.
spirit box. Sometimes it's clear as day, but you also have to be able to make sure you can interpret what's like something that could be talking or just a radio, like a
Right.
radio station popping in and, oh, come buy our cars and stuff like
Right.
that.
You gotta use big brain.
But all of this ended up taking a toll on Keith and Tina's relationship, and they separated.
Oh.
So it's gonna happen when you have all this stress and crazy stuff happening. Uh, so in 2015 of May, I have it broken down. That's when Ghost Adventures went skeptical, no conclusive evidence, short visit, highly edited for TV. But they are a big TV show. Like you gotta. That's just how it goes. 2015 in October, Mira and Philip from the UK Paranormal. They got hundreds of EVPs, intelligent haunting, detailed multi-day study with equipment. So they were there for, I believe, it was like 3 weeks or 3.5 weeks.
Okay.
So it makes more sense that they would get much more because
You have a
they
lot more
really
to sift
spent
through,
their time there.
and
Yeah.
you're really like taking your time on it. Then, if you're 3 weeks there,
Yeah. And then 2016 through 2024, independent media, so YouTubers or just investigators who have the right connections would go and investigate, and they'd get mixed reactions. Some support, uh, like some they get some kind of evidence to support what Keith was experiencing, and Keith, I believe, uh, wrote a book, and he also like goes on podcasts and forums and breaks down his experiences to this day. Um, it remains a topic of debate though in the paranormal community. because was it a genuine haunting or was it something else?
Right.
I sped through that.
That's fine. No, but now we're open to discussion, Taylor. Knowing all of that, now that I understand, like, I honestly I didn't know how many teams had gone through. I know there was at least two or
Two
three
big
that had gone
ones.
through.
Mhm.
One was interviewed on Ghost Adventures, saying that there's something there. Like, she seemed very genuine about it too.
Mhm.
But knowing what we know, seeing what we've seen presented from this, do you think it's a legit case, or do you think that maybe it's a little far-fetched? Because there are some clips that are shown, like Keith sent clips of like glasses being thrown at the wall or at a crucifix hanging on the wall, but like he, and this is just my opinion, he doesn't get up fast enough to go, and by the time that it he goes around the corner, someone has the ability to like hide in a room or around a door. Like, how do you feel about it?
I want to sit here and believe him because it's really hard for people nowadays if they experience stuff like that. It's really hard for people to believe them because of just modern day and everyone has the skepticism in their body, and
Right.
not everyone wants to trust people who experience this. They just want to say, "Oh, that's bullshit. You're making this up to get like
Fame,
popularity
notoriety,
and
money.
yeah." But like people do that and then like this person is just truly trying to reach out and get help and express what they're experiencing.
See, that's the thing. I want to believe it. I truly want to believe this case. I am way too weirdly skeptical about this one though, just from the stuff that I've seen.
Okay.
So if we can find more on it and I can like go through it, hell yeah, present it to me. I want to see it. I want to see this. I want to see more activity so I can understand completely what's going on there. But like we've said about some other cases, like when we talked about the Warrens, like there were points where you're just kind of, yeah, we're gonna do this to get a book out there or something. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna do this. I'm not saying that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm just
But that was
skeptical.
also during the big hype of like
right.
things
right,
or things are haunted. Let's jump on this.
right. And I agree. I do not want to take away his experiences because always, what the hell am I doing on the podcast? Touting,
Yeah.
this is a safe space to like talk about your experiences.
I think modern day hauntings are extremely hard to talk about
Oh, for sure.
because of the fear of people not believing you and bashing you and saying that you're a liar. This
And
world
the
is
amount
cruel.
of editing, like it's so easy to like fake a clip nowadays.
Well, AI now.
AI
God.
is up there right now. It's even within even in 2012, it's so easy to fake a thing like that. Like, remember when we watched all the Ouija clips?
Yeah.
It's you can put a fishing line around it and just go, all right, done. Like that guy. When I'm not saying, I think he faked
The
it.
guy,
I
the one
think he
with
faked
the shot glass and then he went in the
Yeah, so
bathroom.
it's the one with the glass. Also, that's the one that makes it partially blocked in some countries for that episode. Funny enough. But the glass moves. I can't debunk that. But he gets up, goes to the bathroom, he slams the door and just starts screaming. That's where you lose me.
If they just kept that out, you would have been
I'd have been
really
fucking
on
shitting my
board.
pants. I'd have been like, holy shit, demons are real. What the hell are we doing? But then he included that part, and I'm like, oh, well, this is. You had me in the first half.
Well, yeah. But yeah, that's the Bothell haunting.
Yeah, but you want to believe him. Is there anything presented? Did you? Okay, I don't know if you did, because I know you did this research a while ago. Did you?
I did a while ago, and I listened to some EVPs and looked more into the evidence. But I put this together about 2 months ago.
Okay.
And we put it off because we were taking a break in May, and we had other things happen. And yeah, I forgot what I looked at. However, we could include evidence in this because it is free grabs.
We could try. I don't know if it'll get blocked by YouTube's copyright system, because the Ouija clips, even though we're using it for education and I reactionary stealing content. So that's basically what we were doing. But we were trying to come up with legitimate answers to a lot of them. So maybe it could be classified as education and fair use. I don't know. I don't want to take the risk. I'm gonna have to look into it more. I encourage everyone who listens to this episode to look into it, because that is such a recent case, and because that is such a debacle.
Absolutely.
I was really hesitant to say the word debacle because I wanted to make sure I said it right. I didn't want to accidentally say diabolical.
You didn't want to be like Taylor and mess up on every word.
No, because I'm Blaine. And
mess up
Blaine's
on other
enough.
words.
Blaine's just enough where people can tolerate. But I'm gonna have to look into it more, because now I want to know. So if you listen to this one, go down to the comments, send us an email, DM us, tell us what you think. I want to know. If you've looked into it, if you were fascinated by this case, of anybody, Heath, if you're listening, you're not. Reach out. I want to know more. I'm not saying that you faked it. I'm not saying that your experience wasn't genuine. I just want to know more. That's all. I want to have a nice discussion. I want to know more. And I kicked something under my desk, so you might have heard that.
I heard nothing.
Good.
I have a question for the people.
I didn't get any answers for the last
one
question. Unfortunately,
but I know people have listened to it. People, please
answer the questions.
Begging.
Answer the question.
Answer any questions.
Engage.
I forgot my question for this episode.
You didn't write it down?
No, because it was just like spur of the moment.
Poltergeist.
What do you
real or fake?
No,
Okay.
I want to know, what state in the United States do you think is the most haunted? Because I think it would be fun if we did an episode talking about a state that people think is the most haunted.
That would be really cool. What state do you think is the most haunted, Taylor?
I want to say one of the original 13 colonies.
Yeah, that's fair.
Due to massacres and all of that. I would like to say Wisconsin is. However, I don't think so. Unless you look more into the native history. That could be a thing.
Wisconsin's been shocking me lately on how much stuff I'm finding as I'm like, okay, so if
we could talk about Lake Michigan. That is a whole paranormal.
That's a whole second Bermuda Triangle. So
yeah,
but as I've been going along, if you've been following us for the last, 2 months, we've teamed up with the Berlin Tannery to do ghost hunting tours, and we're there. If you buy a ticket, you can get it for 3 hours. You can get it for an hour. I don't recommend an hour because you can't fit all the cool like locations in just 1 hour. Like you're just racing through it at that point. But like I've never left that place empty-handed. Megan and I basically have a rapport with the ghosts at the tannery right now. But like
It's like you guys are friends coming over to say hi.
honestly, like we literally just left the spirit Megan like a bear, like a couple toys, because she asked.
That's sweet.
But like we're literally driving down and Megan's pointing out different spots that she knows that are haunted just in the area. And I'm just like, how the hell do you know that? Like, what? Like this little rinky-dink bar is haunted, and apparently she knows people who have worked there, and like they're telling her all this stuff. She's like, yeah, we should get in there and investigate it because that'd be really cool. Yeah, that would be really cool. Like I want to know why you're there. I want to know what's happening. What are we doing? Like there's all these like places you would not think of.
Yeah.
Which is honestly so cool. But yeah, Wisconsin's been shocking me lately. I think the most haunted state it has to be around the East Coast. I think it's gotta be, I want to say Salem is one of the most haunted places. But I really think Louisiana is probably up there.
When I think of the most haunted states, I just try to think of like what state has the most trauma and disaster and massacre and all of this, because that just
would hold all that like energy. Yeah.
And like if we think of Salem, there's the witch trials. That's very horrible. All these innocent women just hung and put through torture.
Or set ablaze.
And then if we think of Louisiana, think about all of the hurricanes, think about slaves. We could think about
New Orleans alone.
Yeah, we could think not Marie Laveau, but because she's the voodoo lady. The other lady, there were so many people would be tortured, all these slaves, all this
yeah,
just a lot.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't think
Central America is just kind of blah.
No, I think
you tell me tell me a state in Central America, like
there are
Central
no states
United
in
States.
Central America. Oh, I was like Central America, like Latin America, like the one that bridges between North and South America, the countries. Like,
no.
Tell me a state in the United States that's in the central part that you think isn't blah.
Hold, please. Like for paranormal?
Yeah.
Let me look.
Do you have to look at a map?
I will find one right now.
Are you looking at a map or are you typing in spooky?
Nope, I'm looking at a map. Kansas has the Sally House.
It's Blade. For listeners and not viewers, Blade is just leaning over, squinting his eyes.
Because I don't have my glasses on right now, so it's a little hard to read. And I can't
Yes,
really get
Blaine
up.
is hard to read.
Damn, that's crazy. Hold, please.
While Blaine is holding, I just want to thank whoever is watching, listening, for stopping in and enjoying this this episode about the Bothell haunting. If you have any stories you want to tell, experiences, or topics that you want us to do, just email us at ghostandus@gmail.com or DM us on any of our social medias, X, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook,
Yeah, you got it.
YouTube. Comment on the YouTube.
Like, comment,
on the
subscribe, baby.
Spotify's. If you leave a review, it helps us expand and get out there more to new people.
Yeah, hell yeah, Taylor, you're nailing this at the end of the show.
Did you
I can't believe
discover
you-
Eddie?
Yeah, you were gonna forget Colorado.
Does that count as in the middle?
That's central
Yeah,
United
okay.
States. Look up a map. I did.
All right, I will give it to you. Colorado
Kansas is literally
a
dead center
fantastic
of the
place.
United States.
All right, I retract my statement.
That's right. You freaking better.
Anyways, thank you for listening.
All right. Thanks.
Stop by
Have a
again.
good one. See you in the next one. Stay tuned because we're putting together a cool Mothman episode. Kaylee suggested it, and I just want to throw it out there that we're going to put together a cool Mothman episode. Megan and I are doing some research. So
Bye.